Hello again, FlossTube fans. My second video. I'm Kat, and you guys are on Cross Stitch Chaos. So I thought since last time I would go ahead and do a quick update. It's only been like a week, but I've been having some fun. Still at home, recovering from where I burned my foot. It's doing really, really good. I can actually wear shoes right now for the first time in almost a month, so it's kind of amazing. My cat is right here. She's living on my, here. Candy, say hi. This is Candy. This is one of my two kitties. And she just wanted attention, apparently. So I'm gonna talk with my cat on my shoulder. So anyway, so back to the progress update with where I burned my foot. If you guys don't remember from the last video, I burned my foot really badly the day after Christmas when I was cooking a ham and the juice spilled down on me, and I had first and second degree burns on my leg and my foot, especially my foot. My foot was the worst part. It was very bad second degree burns. I was in a lot of pain, couldn't walk, couldn't wear anything on it. It was really, really bad for about a week, but it's been healing so nicely, and I actually wore shoes and socks today with no extra padding or wrappings or anything like that, and that's the first time, so it's very exciting. Had a talk with my doctor today, and she's really pleased with how it's healing, so probably in the next video maybe I'll show you guys the scar from it that's forming. You can see it's literally the entire top of my foot was burned. So so I've been at home. I am a self-employed Lyft / Uber driver right now, and the other kind of annoying thing that happened was the same day that I burned my foot, my car died. And it went in a really big way. You guys probably aren't car people. If you are, you'll know what I'm talking about. But the rear main seal blew, which is basically the gasket between the engine and the transmission, aka the thing that holds the oil in the car, is gone. So it dumped all of the oil out of the car. If you put it in the top, it comes right back out the bottom. And Candy is just like, she's just chill. She's been missing Mama today. She's been all over me today. So that was the day after Christmas. That's the car that I drive for Lyft. So that was really bad news. So there's apparently, that's a known failure part, and so it's on national back order. I ended up having to take it to a dealership over an hour away because the 6 dealers that were closer to me could not get the part. So it's now 3 weeks later, and I'm finally getting my car fixed starting tomorrow. It has been a trip. So that's been what's going on in my life. Woo! Candy's trying to knock stuff off. She's wandering her through the cabinet. This cat. I do have, like I said, I do have 2 cats. There's another one. Candy, stop it. There's another one running around. Normal. He's the older one. He's not as in your face most of the time as this one is. While I'm doing this update, I'm going to remove the candy. There we go. Okay, so on my last video, I showed you guys small Magellanic cloud, which at the time was on a broken Q-snap. And I decided, rather than replacing the Q-snap and fixing it and working on it there, I was going to go ahead and move it to a scroll frame. So today I pulled it off the Q-snap, I serged the edge on it, and I got it already laid out, ironed and everything. And I actually took a short video of that wherein I had it out on the table because I thought it was kind of cool. So I'm going to show you guys that now. So I've got my Magellanic cloud off of its frame right now. I went ahead and serged my edges because they were like fraying really, really bad. So I serged my edges, and I actually lint rolled it because you saw in my last video there was a lot of dog hair on it. So I got all the dog hair off. It's clean on both sides. This piece has not looked this good probably since it was put on the fabric. So I ironed it, and it's ready to go on a scroll frame now. But I just thought you guys would kind of think it's cool. You don't usually see these pieces laid out like to see the size of them.
So this is it laying on my table. You can see there's like a pair of scissors and a tape dispenser over here, so you can see the comparative size. So that kind of gives you an idea of just how monstrous this fabric is. And then there's my little lone 4 pages that I've been working on up here in the corner. So this thing's gonna be pretty darn big. It's like 2 feet by 2 feet when it's finished. So there you have it, all laid out.
Okay, so now that you saw small Magellanic Cloud laid on the table, where I serged the edge and it was all, you know, it's all ironed and dog hair free, which is a miracle for this piece. Kind of funny story, made me happy and sad at the same time. When I was cleaning all the animal hair off of it, I found orange and white hairs from my cat Orion, who I lost last March. He was 16 years old, so I was like, oh my gosh, there's Orion hair, and it made me happy, it made me smile. So what I was gonna do is I was gonna talk to you guys today about a little bit about my process and how I set things up, because I do things kind of weird. I see a lot of other stitchers do a lot of similar things, and I don't know, I'm not self-taught, but I was grandma taught. I didn't get into the online stitching community until like within the last year. So things like parking and cross country and gridding and Q-snaps and all this stuff. I've never seen any of this stuff before. So I have my own kind of process that I do things with. And so I was gonna show you guys how I set up my projects. So I have my material here for Small Magellanic Cloud. There's my back of my work if you guys are ever curious. I tend to keep my backs pretty neat because my grandmother drilled that into my head when I was a kid, when I was learning how to stitch. Your back should look like your front. Your back should look like your front. So my backs usually look like my front. This is really messy for me. So that's the back of my Magellanic Cloud. It's pretty messy for me. I loop start when I have 2 threads, and I tie it off under other threads to end it. I actually recently started practicing with the pin stitch. I like it, but I'm not in love with it. The way I restart my threads, because I only do a loop start if it's a brand new thread, which I know some people who do a loop start will do the loop start every time. They'll split the thread and do another loop, and I don't do that. I'm super conservative with my thread. Always have been. Like, I finish a kit and I have like half my thread left over because I'm really, really conservative with my thread. So I do a weird kind of start where I almost like self knot it under the threads before, and I've literally never seen anybody else do it the same way I do. So what I was going to show you guys is how I attach my pieces to my scroll frames. So this is one of my dowel rods. This is just a plain solid dowel rod. There's nothing attached to it. There's no fabric stapled to it. There's no, it's not a split rail. It's just a straight up 36-inch dowel rod. So what I do is I use blue painter's tape, because unlike masking tape, this doesn't leave a residue. So I know a lot of people use masking tape and use wash off the residue. That's cool. You know, teach their own. I prefer this. I like to go damage free. So what I do is I just lay out my fabric on, I'm gonna see if I can tip my camera down so you can see. It's gonna be upside down, but there's my fabric. There we go. It's gonna be upside down for you guys, but so I just lay my fabric out, I lay my dowel rod, I center it, I stitch what's called in the well, which means that I have my fabric underneath of my my dowel rods. So basically I'm gonna take a piece of tape, oh, not that one, I don't know what happened there. It like ripped into like a V shape. This is new. Usually it like, you know, kind of like goes off on a corner. It ripped in a V shape. I don't understand what happened here. So I'm gonna even out that end again. So I'm gonna tear it in a fairly straight line. Goodbye. Here, cat toy. It's on the ground now. So there we go. So I'm gonna pull a length of tape the exact same width as my fabric, and I'm actually sticking it to my fabric to measure it. So it is the exact same width as my fabric right now. And that way I don't have anything hanging over unnecessarily. And I'm trying to tear it in as straight a line as possible, and I'm not doing a very good job at all. Wow, that was terrible. Okay, So yeah, that's not a straight line. So now I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna flip it sticky side up. I'm gonna lay it on the table. I'm gonna lay my fabric in the middle of it, just like that. And I can't serge in a straight line. This weird like hump here is my fabric was fraying really, really badly on the edges. So this is where I cut off the frayed edge, and I just didn't do it in a straight line because I can't cut in a straight line. I can do anything in a straight line. So there's my tape, sticky side up. So you can see it's sticking to my fingers. And I'm just gonna take my dowel rod and lay it on the tape and stick it right to her. And sometimes you kind of have to play with it. Nice thing about painter's tape is it's just like masking tape. You can unstick it and redo it, and it doesn't really lose its stickiness. So just like that. And I'm mounted to my dowel rod, and I can roll it up. And it'll take a couple of times of doing this before it will stick completely. So while I'm stitching on it, I'll just kind of smooth it down like that every now and then. You can see it pops up a little bit. It's no big deal. Just roll it up like that. And there's my piece ready to mount. So I'm gonna roll this the other way for now. Roll my piece on up. And I don't have another set of side rails at the moment. Well, actually I do. I've got an extra frame that I'm not currently using. So I can put this one on there, or any number of things. So I'm just gonna repeat the process. I'm gonna fix my horrifically crooked tape tear, good Lord. It's way easier to do it when you're not actually on the roll. So again, really? Why does this tape hate me? This is what happens when you buy like, oh, this isn't the off-brand. Just kidding. This is actually like name brand stuff. I don't know what's going on. Usually I buy cheap stuff, and that explains everything, so. Okay, try this again. Maybe do it a little slower. There we go. That's better. All right, again, I'm gonna stick it actually to my fabric to measure it. There's my width. I'm gonna try to tear it in a straight line. See if I can do a better job this time. Hey, there we go. Look at that. Hey, it's straight. Check that out. I can do it. Okay, so again, flip it so the sticky side's up. This side you can see is a lot straighter because I didn't have the fraying on this end as badly. Because I didn't serge it. I didn't own a serger when I started this project. Because I got my serger when Hancock Fabrics was going out of business, because I got it for like half price. Hancock Fabrics basically like went out of business into my craft room. It's a little ridiculous, I will fully admit. Okay, so I'm gonna try to line these up so that they're kind of centered. Stick it down onto the tape. Okay. Just kind of pull it on up onto the dowel rod. So on my last video I mentioned my brother makes my end pieces for my frames. I'm actually going to be setting up an Etsy store. It's not set up yet. I'm going to be setting up an Etsy store, and that's going to be one of the things I have in there. Also have things like grind guards and needle minders, and I might even try my hand at pattern making. I don't know. Oops, sorry, that was my Fitbit screeching across the table. So again, you kind of have to smooth it down onto the fabric, and that'll settle onto there the longer it's on there. And if it gets like gunk underneath of it, you can always replace it. It's tape, it's cheap, it's easy to replace. So I'm just gonna kind of even these rolls out. So they're small-ended on a cloud on a scroll frame. It's ready to go on the end pieces. So I'm gonna pop you back up to me. Maybe. Play with my tripod here. There I am. No, don't zoom in. Whoa. Zoom out. You don't need to see me that well. Okay. So, there we go. Me again. So, I want to talk to you about some of my other projects that maybe you haven't seen. I talked about one of my works in progress that I have going that I'm not happy with, that I'm going to change my stitching, and I've had a lot of people talk to me both in my comments and on Instagram and on Facebook about tent stitching. So what I have decided to do with that, right now I have this piece, it's called Spirit of the Pack, that I've got a little bit more than I thought I did. I've got maybe a thousand stitches put into it. So this is the pattern. Spirit of the Pack, Donna Gelsinger, Heaven and Earth. So there was my calculations for all kinds of things. So this is, by the way, this was, again, before I had a serger. I wrapped my edges in the painter's tape to keep it from fraying, and then this is where I had it taped to the thing. So this needs to get run through the serger. I just haven't done it yet. So this is my progress so far. You see it's not much, a little bit. This is 1 by 1 full cross. Does that not look like Sauron's eye? When I first stitched it, I was like, it's the eye of Sauron in my stitch. It's a leaf, but it looks like the eye of Sauron. So, in the Heaven and Earth Facebook group, if you're a Heaven and Earth stitcher, and people call them Hades, I don't know, I don't like the name. I don't like pronouncing abbreviations, which is why you don't hear me say whips. I say works in progress. And I don't say Hades, I say Heaven and Earth. I don't know, I can't explain why I don't like calling them Hades. I just don't. So anyway, so the Heaven and Earth group, if you stitch Heaven and Earth progress projects, it's the official Heaven and Earth Designs Facebook group that Michelle is in, the owner of Heaven and Earth. A lot of the employees of Heaven and Earth are in there. That's where all the new releases are posted, and people post their works in progress, people post their stashes. It's a really great group to inspire you. If you've lost your stitchy bug, you can be like, oh my gosh, these people are posting these beautiful page finishes, project finishes, and I want to stitch that, and it's really dangerous to your stash. My stash significantly exceeds my life expectancy right now. But anyway, so my whole point to this is in the Heaven and Earth group, there have been a lot of conversations lately about switching from full cross to tent stitching, which is another word for half stitch. And there was a couple of people who posted works in progress where they had switched from like 1/1 to 2/1 half cross. And when you do it so that the top, your half crosses are facing the same direction as the top leg of your full crosses, you can't tell the difference. You really can't, especially on 28 count. And so what I think I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna leave this in, and I'm just gonna continue it in half cross. I think I'd like it a lot better. This is a really confetti heavy piece. I don't like confetti. I struggle with it because I'm too picky about my backs, and I'm trying to let go of that. I'm not doing a very good job of it. So I struggle with confetti a lot. I really do. So I really think that will kind of help break me out of my comfort zone, doing a half cross and doing, trying to carry my threads further and things like that. So I think maybe this piece will get me kind of a little bit out of my comfort zone. So this is what I'm doing for my husband. Guarantee you he doesn't remember this, because it's my husband for you. He's very, very scatterbrained. We were having a conversation earlier. He's actually here. He's in the bedroom recording his own YouTube video right now. He has his own YouTube channel. His username is Dare to Fly. Actually, I'm second guessing. Is it Dare to Fly or Dare to Fly 1927? It was the slogan for his favorite roller coaster, which was built in 1927, Screeching Eagle at Americana, which was sadly torn down about 5 years ago. But so his is all about roller coasters, especially the history of parks and roller coasters. He did a really amazing video about the history of Americana, again, where his favorite roller coaster was when he was growing up. Was about 30 minutes from where we live right now. So It's really cool. Check it out. I'll link him in the down here. I like pointing to things on the screen, like what's down there. By the way, my last video, I was on the wrong side. Subscribe's over here. Like is right here. So I always think it's funny when I'm watching YouTubers and they're like, smash that like button. I think it's hilarious. So like, it's a running joke with me and my brother, smash that like button. So that's my thing. So wanted to talk to you about some of my other things. I mentioned that I have kitted up Amy Stewart's a stitching shelf, which is a heaven and earth. And I kind of wanted to show you guys my kitting process. Because I just purchased another chart yesterday that just came out that I'm going to be kitting up soon. And I apologize for the bag rattling. So this is a stitch in time. I'm going to be doing it without this centerpiece. I bought this when it first came out. This is the supersized version. So it's going to be really, really, really big. They have since come out with a stitching shelf, which is the part that it's missing this a stitch in time logo in the middle, and it's just a straight shelf with the 4 seasons. I like that a little bit better. So I did purchase the supersized stitching shelf, and I'm basically going to switch out the pieces of the pattern that are different from this one, so that I don't have to reprint all those. How many pages is this? This pattern, this is a regular print pattern, is 104 pages long. And the whole thing is printed right there. All the other binder clips. I don't want to print 104 pages. So when I kit things up, I bobbinate everything. That's another word I learned when I got into the online stitching community, bobbinate. I always said wind. I wind my things onto bobbins. So this is what they look like. I'm really particular. Again, the particularness, I don't know where this came from. My grandma's not this particular. I can tell which things she has wound on bobbins versus what I have wound on bobbins when I look in my thread boxes. Mine are always very, very neat. Very, very precise. You can see that on all of the colors. They're very, very neat. Very, you know, every single one looks the same. They're very, I don't know why I'm like that. So anyway, and then I put them in these boxes. And then on the front, I tape a picture of what I'm stitching with it. So this is going to be a stitch in time / a stitching shelf. And I think they're so pretty. So pretty. It's just so cool to see all those threads in there. So pretty. The box for Magellanic Wing Cloud is my favorite because it's all blues and purples, and those are my favorite colors. So it's like gorgeous. So that's one kit. I have Spirit of the Pack is all bobbinated and in a box, and Magellanic Wing Cloud is bobbinated and in a box, and this is bobbinated and in a box. And now I'm working on getting the threads together for my new project, which I'll show you guys later. I have decided I'm going to stick with the fabric I have for this, which is 28 count even weave. Mainly because this was, I bought this from a local needle workshop here in the Dayton, Ohio area. Because I like supporting local needle workshops. So I don't really want to rebuy my fabric. I'm a little concerned about it not being gridded, so I think I'm going to try gridding it myself. So that is a stitch in time. Now, I told you guys before that I have a 48-inch frame. That's the project that it's for, because that fabric is so wide. So I have my 48-inch frame that I'm going to show you. And it's the one that I'm going to pull the end pieces off of here soon. So this is my giant frame, and I'm going to stand behind my chair so you can see how tall it's touching the floor right now. So that's going to be my scroll frame for stitching shelf. It's really big. Really, really big. So, while I'm over here, I've got Wisdom over here. Wisdom has made a lot of progress. By the way, there's my box for Wisdom. See, it's got this little picture. Got all my colors inside. Yeah, I somehow taped the picture for stitching shelf upside down. Oh well. There's all the pretty colors. It's all kind of browns and blues. Lots of black, lots of brown, lots of blue. If you ever do lots of Heaven and Earth like I do, or at least kit them, I have yet to come even close to finish one. You will go through so much black. So much black. So this is my stash that I was going to show you guys today. So my grandmother bought me a cone of DMC 310. This is after kitting up all of Magellanic Wing Cloud, or I keep calling it Magellanic Wing Cloud because that's officially, it's Small Magellanic Wing Cloud is its official NASA name. But this is after kitting up Magellanic Cloud and Wisdom and Stitching Shelf and Spirit of the Pack. And there's been something else that I used black for, and I still have. This is gonna last forever, I think. It's amazing, I love it. I will never run out of black. I'll never need black again. So, you can buy those online. My grandma ordered that, I think through Joann's. It's big. It's a lot of black. If she ever needs black now, she like emails me, can I have some black? I know you've got that huge cone. You guys kind of saw earlier, the way I keep my patterns when I'm working on them. There are these cool little folders that, they're like presentation folders that you can, this is what holds it in place, so now all my pages can fall out. Or I can go like that and snap them in place. And then I just keep everything in this nice little folder, and I pull out the page I'm actively working on. And then when I'm finished with it, when it's all highlighted and satisfies my OCD, it goes back in here. So I've got some that are highlighted and some that aren't. And I just flip through my colors, and that's how I keep my projects together, keep my pages from getting torn up. So that's the page I'm working on now. And I finished a page! Woohoo! Look at that! Yay! I now have 4 pages finished. I rolled part of it up. Sorry, I didn't realize that. But it is finished. Yay! 4 out of 36. I have progress. I feel like it's actually getting somewhere now. My cute little needle minder up there, my sister-in-law made. She makes me so many fun things. Oops. That's a dog crate. I have everything sitting on the dog crate. So, that's all my heaven and earth stuff. Not really. I have so much heaven and earth stuff. Oh, speaking of heaven and earth stuff. So a new chart came out yesterday that I've been eyeing, would be a good word for it. It came out, somebody ordered it as a custom chart, and everybody went crazy when the person who ordered it as the custom chart posted it and was like, oh my gosh, my custom chart came today. Everybody went crazy. So they got a hold of the original artist and were able to get it licensed. And so the pattern was released yesterday. It is called The Possibilities Evolution Rainbow. And I love Pokemon. I love Eevee in particular. So there it is. That is the Evolutions. And I bought that pattern within an hour of it being released yesterday. I was like, I have to have it. So that's gonna get kitted up. That's my Google Drive. I keep all of my patterns on my Google Drive. My husband makes fun of me every time I buy a pattern because he seems to think that I have enough patterns because this is my Google Drive, just my heaven and earth patterns. He thinks I have enough patterns. I don't know why he thinks this. I don't understand why he thinks that I have enough patterns, because these are all heaven and earths, and almost all of them are regular size, and I think 2 of them are super sized, and he acts like I have enough things to stitch. I don't know where he gets this idea. Who knows? So, thought you guys would be entertained by that. You guys all get it. Wow, my camera turned super yellow after having my phone in front of it. So, come back, be white again. Yeah, I'll just do red, yellow, and orange. I don't know. So, the other project I wanted to show you guys. I'm involved in a project called Stitching George Washington. And hey, I'm white again. I mean, I always was pretty white, but the Stitching George Washington project is going to be the world's largest cross-stitch project when it's finished. It is being organized by this amazing lady named Heather, and she was able to get all of the products that we needed, all the thread, all of the fabric, everything donated. And the entire piece is split out into different panels, and every panel, I'm looking up how many there are because I can never remember off the top of my head. 112 panels. It's split into 112 panels, and every panel is assigned to a different stitcher here in the United States. And when it's finished, it is going to be George Washington crossing the Delaware. Yay. So my panel, I'm trying to do this without a reflection, it's not working very well. My panel is kind of down in here. It's this guy's oar and the water. So we're gonna be starting that. We've been in the process of getting it ready for a couple of years now. I got my kit about a year ago with all of my fabric and I was one of the first people to get my box with my materials in it. But now everybody has their boxes and we are starting February 22nd of this year and I'm super excited. Super excited. So if any of my viewers out there are George Washington stitchers, let me know. I want to meet you. This is so cool. We're hoping that once it's finished and put together, to get it into a museum. I think that would be amazing if we got into something like the Smithsonian, like mind-blowing, like something I cross-stitch is gonna be a piece of history. Like, it's so cool. So I wanted to show you guys this awesome material package that Heather sent us all. So first of all, here is the fabric. It's 18 count Aida. I've already marked my top left corner. So this is gonna be a big piece, guys. This is just my panel. This is one of 112 panels. It's gonna be that big. It's gonna be huge. So this is going on scroll bars next. I actually have its scroll bars out here ready to put it on. That's gonna be after I finish my video. So roll it up real quick. So that's my 18 count Aida. Everything else came in this cool little medium flat rate box. The only contribution we were asked to pay was the shipping on the box, so 15 bucks. I think that's a worthy investment. So she included little project cards with magnets on the end to hold your needles. And then everything else is in this Ziploc bag of goodies. So all the floss is Sullivan floss. They donated the floss for it, so thank you, Sullivan. We really appreciate. We also have Sullivan needles, needle threaders. So they sent us size 24 and size 26 needles, which is pretty cool. A needle nook, little needle holder for us. It's a magnetic needle case, so like, and they hooked us up. And then on this ring are the bags full of floss. So as you can see, mine is all like dark colors. It's all grays and greens and browns because it's the water. It's the water and an oar. So it's gonna be all dark colors. But it's probably not gonna be the most exciting thing I've ever stitched. We've got 5 years to finish it. So I'm gonna like bust my batoot to get it finished. It's nice to have like a goal and a deadline to like be like, oh my god, I gotta go. So I'm gonna keep track of my stitches per day and how long it's gonna take me to finish it. I just broke my nail, like, quite badly. That was a girly thing to say. Broke my nail, oh my gosh. But I'm gonna keep track of how many stitches I do and if I'm on track to finish it on time so that I know if I need to get moving. So I'm super excited about starting this project. If you wanna follow it along, we have a blog. It is I believe it's United Stitch, I'm looking on the Facebook page. You can join our group on Facebook. It's called Stitching George Washington. You can come check that out. And we do have a blog. It is unitedstitchersofamerica.com. I'll put that down there if you want to follow along with us. So it's coming out February 22nd. We're going to be starting on that. So that's why I wanted to finish Beauty and the Beast. I wanted to have Beauty and the Beast finished before George starts. I don't know that's going to happen, but now that I have finished that page on Wisdom, I'm going to go back and like bust it out on Beauty and the Beast. That's my goal. So last time I talked about my stash. My big stash. It's bad. I mentioned that I have a lot of Disney. So I wanted to bring it out here so I can show you. So you saw that I'm working on Beauty and the Beast. There's Sleeping Beauty. And there's Little Mermaid. I don't know where Lion King is. I know I have it. I gave Cinderella to my sister-in-law. This I actually bought at Walt Disney World. It's the castle. Cinderella's castle. I love this, the needle minder that they include in it. He's Tinkerbell. So those are my Disney ones. And then I've got both the Winter Enchantress from Dimensions and the Fall Fairy. These are the ones that I like really want to do. Like that's all that this is. These are like the big projects outside of Heaven and Earth that I really want to do are these right here. And then this one, the orange and white kitty, looks just like my Orion kitty. So much like him, except Orion had gold eyes, so I'm gonna change his eyes. But Orion was my baby. Like I said, he was 16 years old. I had him for 13 of those 16. So I had him for a long time. He was my first pet. I miss him so much. He was such a good cuddler. He loved to lay on my stitching. Loved it. So that's gonna be my project in memory of Orion. So I'm gonna put all those back in here. And then I have another Heaven and Earth printed out. This is something I'm gonna make for my best friend, which is a quick stitch, Phantom of the Opera, Amy Stewart. So again, it's in one of these cool little folders. You can get these at like office supply stores. They're fantastic to keep loose leaf patterns in. Fantastic. So that's what's been going on in my world. I've actually been doing some more non-cross stitch sewing. I actually am working on making a grime guard for my 36-inch scroll frame. It's a Q-snap style grime guard because I want it to cover. I scrape myself on the bolts all the time. I'm always catching my arms on the bolts, and I end up with scrapes right here on my arms from them. So I want the grime guards to go over top of those. So I basically measured it as if I was putting it on a Q-snap, and it's gonna go like around it. I used scrap material. I haven't run the elastic through it yet. Other than that, it's ready to go as soon as I run the elastic through it and stitch that together. And I don't know what Candy found, but she's down here playing with something. So I made that today. I'm making a scrub top for my sister-in-law because she makes me things, I make her things. She's not a vet tech. She's a receptionist at a vet's office, but she helps the vet techs. So she wears scrubs, and they're allowed to wear ones that are like animal patterns. So she gave me some really cute kitty fabric that I'm making her a scrub top out of. So that's sitting on my desk over there that we talked about earlier, last video. And I've been making scarves, which is why I have a pile of fleece over there. Because I needed something quick and easy and satisfying to use up my fleece stash, because my fleece stash is out of control. I cannot resist myself around fabric remnants. It's really bad. So I have like, you know, like the moving boxes like from Home Depot and stuff, like the big boxes. I have 2 of those completely full of fleece. I have a dresser half full of fleece, and I have a filing cabinet full of fleece. It's bad. It's really bad. So I make a lot of things with fleece. There was something else I was making. I don't remember what else I was making. But it's really cold outside, so I don't want to go anywhere. So I'm gonna sit here and stitch stuff. It's snowing. Well, it was snowing earlier today. It's not snowing now. We've got like 6 inches of snow on the ground. That sucks. My car's broke. I'm driving my 19-year-old Saturn right now, which is a good little car, but it's 19 years old. And I miss my Equinox right now. And I can't drive for Lyft with my Saturn. It's too old and small. So, yeah. I'm ready for life to stop throwing crap at me. Because it was like everything terrible happened all at once. And it can only go up here from here. Like, everybody talks about how 2017 was a terrible year. My 2017 was awful. Awful. I lost my mom. I lost my cat. Burned my foot. Broke my car. I was ready for that year to be done. Done. It can only go up from here, right? Only goes up. So, like I said, I'm going to be doing an Etsy store. I'm going to be putting, now that I know how to make needle minders. Woo, it's upside down. Look at the little music note. It's cute. That's from fabric. It's just like on a magnet. So, I'm going to be putting needle minders and grime guards and those scroll frame pieces on there. And I swear I had something else to talk about. I don't know what it was. Welcome to my world. So yeah. I'm gonna see if I can figure out how to set up my camera so that you can see me stitching without it being in my way. Cause like I did a video of how to start our project for the George Washington group, and I did it with my camera in between me and the piece, so I was kind of like, and I couldn't really see what I was doing, so that won't work. So I'm gonna see, I ordered a phone stand that clips onto a table, and then like, you like put your phone in it. I have a giant phone, in case you didn't notice. I have a Note 8, it's monstrous. So you like, it's actually a tablet holder because my phone's so big, it doesn't fit a phone stand. So it clips onto a table and then it holds your phone like this. And I'm gonna see if I can get it so that it'll like, my phone will be like that over my stitching, and I can take videos of me stitching because the camera on this is actually pretty good. So, so I'm gonna try to get some videos of me stitching, and there are some other floss tubers that I follow that do the off the grid needle arts stitch-ins on Fridays. So I'm gonna see if I can figure out how to make that work, because I think that sounds kind of fun. It's kind of like you stitch and you're hanging out with other stitchers, but you're not in real time. So you kind of like, it's just kind of like almost a stream of consciousness talk. Like you can talk about whatever's on your mind while you're stitching, and people can learn about you. And I think it's cool because I love learning more about the floss tubers I follow. I'm an incredibly sociable person, so I love meeting new people, finding out what they're like, especially people like all around the world. I think that's so fun to have friends in other countries, or even just, you know, the other side of the US. It's so fun. So I'm gonna try to do some of the off the grid type stitching things, because I think that's fun. I would assume you guys think it's fun too, because I know a lot of people do them. So, and as soon as I figure out, oops, I'm sitting here, I'm fiddling with my needle minder. This is the one that goes on Magellanic Cloud. I pulled it off because it was, yeah, I pulled it off the Q-snap and ironed it. So now that it's on a scroll frame, I need to put my needle minder back on because there's needle stuck to it. Once I find a needle that I like, I don't like letting go of it. So like, this is like, no, this is my good needle. It works really well on this fabric. I'm going to keep it. So that's my little needle right there. I use size 26 needles, if anybody's curious. I don't know why I break 28s really easily. I don't know why I don't break 26s, but I break 28s. I rip the eyes out of them, or I bend them, or I'm just really rough on them. So I can't use a 28 needle. So I use 26s. Since I know a lot of people are really interested in what other people do as far as stitch counts and threads and fabrics and needles, and that's what I do. That's why I kind of showed you guys how I kit things up with my bobbin boxes and my scroll frames, and how I print my patterns out, how I store them, how I show them, things like that. I tried using a PDF reader. I have a tablet computer. I have a Microsoft Surface Pro, and I tried using a PDF reader. I didn't like it. I just couldn't get comfortable with it. I don't know why. It's like a book. I don't like e-readers. I would rather have a physical book in my hand. I think that's what it is. I just would rather have a physical pattern. So, so you guys might notice the artwork behind me has changed. I told my husband I wanted his prettier pictures back here. He's like, but I can't see them there when I'm cooking. I'm like, I don't care. I want them behind me in my videos. So, I still have a smoothie maker sitting right here. I don't know why. I don't think we've ever used it. I don't know why it's sitting on my freezer. That's my chest freezer. I don't know why it's there, and it needs to go find a new home because I'm tired of it being in my video. Anywho, so I don't know that I have anything else to talk about. I think I've shown you. Eventually you guys might get to see my craft room when I'm not embarrassed by it, because like I said, Hancock Fabrics went out of business into my craft room. I'm pretty sure, like one Equinox load at a time. And I don't have an organization system. I have no shelving system. I have no storage. Everything's just piled and piled and piled and piled, and then it all falls, and then I pile it back up, and then it falls again, and I can't handle it. So I'm in the process of actually packing my craft room up into boxes so that I can build shelves and then put things back. So I think once that remake is done, I'll let you guys see my craft room, because my fabric stash is quite impressive. Especially my Disney fabrics. I make a lot of clothing to wear to Disney when I go. I go to Disney like 3 or 4 times a year. I'm an annual pass holder, and my best friend that I go with is Disney Vacation Club member, so we go frequently. There's a really cheap flight from Columbus to Orlando that we take, so it's we managed to make it not expensive. So for these Disney trips, I make skirts for us, and they're circle skirts. They're old-fashioned style circle skirts, and it's all kinds of different characters. So I have like Olaf. I'm obsessed with Frozen, completely obsessed with Frozen. I have an Olaf skirt. I have an inside-out skirt. I have princesses. I have Halloween skirt. I have Christmas skirt. I actually just finished my Cars skirt, Cars the movie. I was working on that earlier today. I've got a Beauty and the Beast skirt. I've got, like, I've lost track of all my skirts I have. I have a lot. I try to make a new one for each trip. And if it's a character that meets in the park, I try to get a picture of me with the character. So I have, like, when I wore my Olaf skirt, I met Olaf. And when I was wearing my inside out skirt, I met Joy and Sadness. And I think my next skirt that I'm gonna make is gonna be Pirates of the Caribbean. So that'll be fun. But I have like Lilo and Stitch fabric, I have Moana fabric, I have so much Beauty and the Beast fabric. I love the stained glass, the Beauty and the Beast stained glass fabric that came out. I literally own 2 bolts of it. Like every time I find it, I'm like, oh, the fabric is mine. So I'm the reason that all the Joann's in the Dayton area are sold out of Beauty and the Beast fabric. You're welcome. It's all in my craft room or in skirts that I've made. So I'll show you guys all of those probably next time. I'll pull up my skirt collection. Show you guys. I don't wear skirts normally. So it's kind of funny that I wear them at Disney. And I wear them over leggings, but they're so comfortable, and they're breathable when you have them over leggings, so I don't get hot. They work perfectly for Disney, and they're fun, and people compliment it, and I love being able to go, thanks, I made it. So yeah, I always wear skirts that I've made, especially with character fabric. I make my best friend hers, so she's got like a Marie skirt and a princess's skirt. Oh, I have an Ariel skirt. We both have Ariel skirts. So that's, I made our Halloween costumes this year. Me, my best friend, and my sister-in-law all went to Disney for Halloween. And we went as the 3 fairies from Sleeping Beauty, and I made our costumes. I made our capes and our skirts. And I made me and my husband's costume, because we went to the Halloween party twice, because it's amazing. I made my Halloween costume. We went as the Haunted Mansion ballroom dancers, and I made all of my costume head to toe. So that was like my big thing that I did this year. I was so proud of it. I was so proud of that costume. It's so gorgeous. In fact, I can show you guys pictures of these, because you guys can, it's actually seeing my phone on the camera, which is kind of nice, and my phone's so gigantic that it works quite well. So there's the 3 of us. Oh, let me turn it so you can actually see it. There's the 3 of us as the fairies. And I made those skirts and capes. That's the 3 of us as the 3 fairies. So that was a lot of fun to do that. And of course I don't have these all in like easy to access places. Why would I do something smart like that? You guys remember how last time I was talking about the 25 Christmas trees in my house? I just wanted to mention real quick, they're gone. They're all gone. Yay, no Christmas trees. I find them fun for a few weeks, and then I'm like, they're everywhere. Everywhere. Every table, every surface has a tree on it. Every corner has a tree in it. I'm like, my bathroom had a tree in it. Why'd my bathroom have a tree in it? That reminds me. One of my favorite finished pieces is in my bathroom. I will have to show it to you guys next time. It's hilarious and it's sparkly. It's awesome. So I will definitely show you guys that later. So there's me in my Ariel skirt, meeting Ariel. Yay. And I also met Rapunzel in my Ariel skirt, but it was an Ariel skirt, so that picture is not as effective. We were there for the hurricane this year because why not? I'm trying to see. I've got a picture. Oh, they cropped out my skirt. There we go. That's my Beauty and the Beast skirt. And then that's my best friend. She's wearing, what is she wearing? She's wearing her Ariel skirt that I made her. And then that's my sister-in-law, Stacy. That's Deborah. So there's my Beauty and the Beast stained glass skirt. I actually wore that to the premiere of the new Beauty and the Beast movie also. Oh, speaking of Stacy, she's messaging me. Hi, Stacy. Let's see. Is that my Haunted Mansion skirt? Yep. So there's two more skirts that I made. You can kind of see them when I zoom in. That's Deborah's Halloween skirt, and then that's my Haunted Mansion skirt. Like I said, I make a lot of skirts. and then here, ta-da! There's my Haunted Mansion costume. My Haunted Mansion dancer costume. So I did not make my husband's costume. That's a suit that I found at a thrift store, and then I just aged it with spray paint, but I made my entire outfit. It's all green chiffon over white satin. So that's the cool like magic shot they did. You can see my dress a little bit better. So we looked awesome. We really did. We were there for it was Halloween. It was mine and my husband's 5th anniversary, and it was my nephew's 8th birthday. All that, like, that's what we were celebrating. It didn't all fall in that week, but that's what we were celebrating that week. So that was a really fun trip. There's me. Oh, that's when I had my broken foot last year. My foot is cursed. I'm not even kidding. My left foot, I have broken it twice. I have sprained my ankle so many times that my tendons of my ankle don't lay right. I have no cartilage in my left knee, and I burned the crap out of my left foot. My left foot is cursed. So this is when I broke my left foot last in 2016. That's when I met Olaf, wearing my Olaf skirt. So that skirt has it has Olaf and little snowgies on it, and he was so excited. Like I love it when characters get all excited. He was very excited to see my Olaf and snowgies. And then I have my Inside Out skirt that I made when I met Joy and Sadness, and they were also incredibly excited. And I'm trying to see if I have any other pictures of skirts that I made. Oh, there's my Christmas skirt. It's my Christmas skirt. And I wear it every Christmas. And I have a Halloween skirt. And I made, this is the only dress that I have made. I made my dress, the white dress. And I also made her skirt, the Marie skirt. So that's the other sewing that I make. Is my little Disney costumes. I have fun. I never grew up. Oh, there's my, oh, you can't really see it. That's my Nightmare Before Christmas skirt. You can't really see it though, but that's a Nightmare Before Christmas skirt. So I have a lot of fun. I never grew up. That's what I usually say. I think that's why I enjoy roller coasters and amusement parks so much, because I never grew up, and that's okay. So I think I've talked about everything I can talk about. This is a nice long video. So congratulations if you're still watching and have managed to survive my like completely bizarre ramblings. I don't know how you guys put up with me. So yeah, I'm sure you guys have noticed, speaking of my amusement parks, my Six Flags shirt, Six Flags Over Texas. We went there over the summer. Me and my husband, we went on a big trip and did Six Flags Over Texas, Six Flags Fiesta Texas, SeaWorld San Antonio, Kemah Boardwalk, Galveston Pleasure Pier, and Frontier City. So we had a bunch of parks in Texas and Oklahoma. We were there for 10 days. Holy crap, I was exhausted after that. But we do that about once a year. We do one really big coaster trip. which is how we have ridden so many coasters. We've both ridden over 350 different roller coasters because we travel the country. Our honeymoon was literally going to amusement parks in California. We went to Disneyland and California Adventure and Six Flags Magic Mountain and Knott's Berry Farm and SeaWorld San Diego. That was our honeymoon. It was awesome. It was so us. Oh, and there's a little park out there, Belmont Park, in San Diego that we went. That was the first park we went to, and we have a picture, like this nerdy picture of us holding up a sign that says first coaster is Mr. and Mrs. and it's us on the Belmont Park Giant Dipper. It was pretty awesome. And then I have like pictures of me holding up signs in front of like my 200th coaster and my 300th coaster. I did not get a 350th picture when I hit 350 in November. When I was in Orlando, I picked up Mind Blower in Kissimmee, and that was my 350th roller coaster. So I'm now at 351. And I'll be getting more soon because there's a new one opening at Cedar Point next year, so that'll be number 352. Unless I randomly take a trip somewhere before then. Who knows? I need New England and I need Northern California. And then I will have hit all the major areas of the United States because we were missing Texas and now we have it, so. And then it starts getting really challenging because then you have to start going outside the US and we don't have passports yet. So we need to fix that so we can start traveling. But my husband is a teacher and you guys know how teachers don't make any money. so we do what we can. We have lots of season passes. That's how we're able to travel. So season passes are a good investment. If you ever want to learn how to travel to amusement parks cheaply, I can help you out with that because I can teach you how season passes work for you, how to make them work for you. Because that's how we do our traveling, is pay the season pass one time, you don't have to pay admission. It's great. So in my next video, I'm probably going to do some stitching time with you. I should have my phone holder by then. So I'm going to Twitch stream once I have that. So I'm really excited about that. By the end of the month, I'm intending to have an HDMI capture card so that I can stream from my awesome video camera. There was somebody who asked in my last video how I got my video and sound so clear. Sony Handycam. That's how. That is a Sony Handycam. It's an older model, so you can pick up on Amazon for about $100. And it's a great, oh my gosh, this thing takes good video. I was shooting a video of the fireworks at Disney. This would have been August of 2016. I remember this because I was still in the little wheelchair from having the broken foot. And I was watching Wishes at Magic Kingdom, and it's dark. I'm taking a video of the fireworks, and the guy in front of me got down on one knee. And I was just like, what? And I zoomed the camera down, and I got his whole proposal. You could hear crystal clear, will you marry me? I was like, as soon as they were like done, having their, oh my God. I was like, guys, I just got that whole thing on video. I need your email address. And I went back and I watched the video later, and it was crystal clear, and I was so pleased, and they were super pleased that I got that whole thing on video. And it was just magical moment right there that I got their proposal. And that was with my Sony Handycam. So if you guys are looking for a good FlossTube thing, I've got it propped up on a tripod. I'm a photographer. In fact, if you guys do want to follow me on my Instagram, it is Katie Liz Photo. KATIELIZPHOTO. All one word. Katie Liz Photo, that's my Instagram. Katie Liz Photo is also my Etsy page, and it is my Facebook page. So you can see my photography there. Also amusement park photos. I have a couple really great photos of Disney. Big surprise. My favorite photo that I've taken is one of Main Street at night. So I just have one of my photography tripods that my camera sits on, which is why it's nice and stable. And I got my little Sony Handycam, and it's just the onboard audio and video on it. So there you guys have that for next time. Need a camera for FlossTube. I do all my editing with Adobe Premiere, although my Adobe Premiere has decided to hate life. So right now I'm having to use Windows Movie Maker because my subscription expired on my Premiere. And I can't renew it until we get paid at the end of the month because, I just had to put $2,600 worth of work into my car. Because, oh yeah, by the way, my car has 115,000 miles on it. It does not have a warranty on it. So yeah, that sucked. So so yeah, at the end of the month, I'm gonna redo my subscription and get my Adobe Premiere back. I miss it. I miss my Photoshop and I miss my Lightroom. So in the meantime, Windows Movie Maker's gonna have to do this. My husband uses to edit his videos. Again, my husband's husband's channel, if you're interested, is Dare to Fly. My other YouTube channel, on which I don't update much, is Chasing Thrills. That's my amusement park channel. That is also Chasing.Thrills is my amusement park Instagram. So yes, I have 3 Instagram accounts. I have my stitching Instagram, Cross Stitch Chaos. I have my photography at Katie Loves Photo, and I have my it's kind of my main one, but it's technically my amusement park one, which is Chasing.Thrills. So there you have it. That's Kat in a nutshell. Help, I'm in a nutshell. Isn't that an Austin Powers? I've never seen Austin Powers, but I think that's what that's from. Help, I'm in a nutshell. So there's Kat, there's me, there's my crazy life, there's my everything disaster that happened in the last month. Can things stop going wrong now? Ready to go to Disney. Peace out to Disney. I still have a month and a half. So I will see you guys next time. Hope to get some progress done on Beauty and the Beast. Hope to ramble a little less. Bye!